Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 signs that you have shifted to a parallel reality. Now, this video will help you understand the idea of parallel realities in a much deeper way, while also giving you practical tools to being able to become the best version of yourself. Now, with this idea of parallel reality, let me first off explain the context so that we understand exactly the whole basis of what I'm saying. The idea behind parallel realities and what science and quantum physics is starting to learn more and more every day is that there are an infinite number of parallel realities. The easiest way to understand parallel realities is to think about it in the form of a movie strip analogy. Now, the idea is that in the movie strip, what you can see is a whole bunch of individual frames if you take out that film strip. Now, if you were to put it and play a movie, the frames would be moving so quick that you would see a continuity and a storyline with it. Now, the idea is that there are an infinite number of parallel realities that exist, and the idea is that we are constantly shifting between different parallel realities, and what we think of as continuity is something that we have because we live in a time-space linear reality, but the idea is that any movement that we are able to see whatsoever is a completely separate frame. Now, the power of this is also knowing that the only moment that exists is this moment right now. Now, the power of this is knowing that we can't actually experience what we call the past, because when it was the past, it was this moment right now. We can only imagine it using our memory or our brain. The idea is that from the future point of view, we can imagine the future using our brain, but the idea is that we can only do that from this moment right now. Now, this means that in this moment right now, any possible parallel reality that you can imagine exists. And the idea behind it, and what I've shared in prior videos, is that if you want to experience the preferred parallel reality, like the perfect version of yourself, what you can do is imagine the best version of yourself and how you would be acting. Imagine your body language, the kind of books that you would read, what you would be doing for a living, the kind of people you hang around, your morning ritual, all of those things, and start to model those things and start to mirror that version of you. Take on the belief systems of that version of you, the daily habits, everything about it. As you do that, what you are doing is shifting yourself closer and closer to that being who you are being, and therefore eventually you will get that reflection in your life. Now, with all that being said, the first sign that you have shifted to a parallel reality is that you experience any type of movement whatsoever. Now, the reason I say this is so that you come to understand that it's a natural byproduct of who we are. It's not something we have to try to do. The idea is that if there's something we want to really create in our life, that we create a bigger degree of change between what we're experiencing right now and who we prefer to be and what we want to experience. Now, the idea is that me going like this right now is shifting through a whole bunch of parallel realities, but it looks like one continuous stream because we have the memory to see and link them together. Now, with this, it comes with understanding that the best version of yourself exists right now in this moment, and that what you can begin to learn to do from this is how to embody the best version of yourself in knowing that exists right now. It's simply a degree of can you become that version of yourself to then get that reality. Now, the second sign I have for you is that you are able to see some type of change in the past of something that you thought it was the way it was, but it's actually different. Now, they've used examples of this before, of the whole Bernstein Bears example, where we thought it was spelt one way and then we look back on it and see it was spelt completely different. And there are other examples of this as well, but the idea is that as we change in the present moment, the past to who we are being is also changing. When we could also think of this in the form of the neural networks in our brain are relating to past experiences in a completely different way, and as we change in the present moment, we are changing our past. Now, the power of this is knowing that we can learn to let go of the past that is holding us back. We can really let go of any story that holds ourselves back by knowing that the only thing that connects that story to us is our memory of it, of us keep on thinking about it over and over again, and that's what keeps the pattern alive, which then influences the pattern of who we are being in the present moment, especially if we are identified with it. Now, what they've also showed with neuroscience is that anytime we remember something from the past, what we do is we take that memory out of the memory bank, we look at it, and as we look at it, we change it, even if it's just a little bit. And the idea is that when we put it back in the memory bank, it is different than it was before, and the idea is that over years of doing this, it might actually be completely different than what it was to begin with. So the power of this is knowing that the past is only having power over us if we believe it does, and if we are attached to that. Now, the third sign has to do with a break in continuity that may not be explainable. Now, this is something that happened to me about 5 to 7 years ago. I remember I was going to the gym. I was driving on my way to the gym, and I had to get into a left turn lane. And when I went to the left turn lane, I was driving, and all of a sudden, a big semi-truck started to merge over, and I remember it was going to merge and crush me, like right into the median that was right to the left of me. And all of a sudden, I remember knowing that it was going to hit me, and all of a sudden, there was like a jolt, and then I was behind the truck, like considerably behind it. And I remember that I've always looked at that, and I wondered what happened in that state and in that scenario. But what that could have been was from a higher level or from some type of understanding, I shifted to a parallel reality where that didn't happen, and which means that there is a parallel reality where that did happen and maybe I died. I'm not quite sure. But the idea is that anytime we experience a large jolt or a spark of discontinuity, something that is unexplainable, that may have us shifting to a parallel reality where it is different than it would have been. This could easily also be understandable from what many people call an NDE, or a near-death experience, from where maybe in one reality they really would have died, but what happened is from a higher level they've decided that they want to keep on living their life, and that's when they shifted to the parallel reality that was so similar of where they are still alive. So these three signs can help you understand parallel realities in a much more powerful way, and also help you transform who you're being in the present moment to really embody who you prefer to be and really let go of the story that we might be telling ourselves. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste. Alright, bye.